Hi everyone, my name is Twin Proda. I'm here just to want to share a little testimonies about myself and how I trusted Jesus Christ as my Savior. So I was born and raised in Vietnam and grew up in not so good environment. I've seen druggies, I've seen diseases, poverty, anything that you can think of, name it. I've witnessed it as a young child, and so I never had internal peace ever. My parents were great to me, but the environment just made me question, people die every day, but do they know? Do they really know where they're going? Or are they just kind of hoping that they will end up somewhere? So that question's always in the back of my mind, and I would get nightmares all the time from just being so fearful all the time. And finally, one night I woke up from a horrible nightmares, and I woke my mom up and asked her, Mom, do you know where we're going after we die? Like, am I gonna see you? I love you. I don't want to leave you and ever be separated from you. And my mom just sadly looked at me, and she didn't have any question. She didn't have any answer to my question. She just said, "Go back to sleep. We're not dying, right?" So that was the end of that. And that night, I remember it so vividly. I don't know why. The Lord heard my cry. He then, fast forward, I moved to the United States at 15. I started school. I learned English very quickly. I spent 2 years in San Diego, and then we moved to New Jersey when my mom found her jobs there, and I started going to school there. The transition was rough for me, that I had to learn a new language. I had to make friends. I had to get used to people made fun of me and get used to the new culture, the new people. And that was hard, but the Lord got me through it. And I was able to secure a scholarship to go to college in New Jersey also. And that's when my life changed. I went to college thinking, wow, I have all this freedom. I could do whatever I want. This freedom, I can be one of the American college kids, go partying and doing all crazy stuff. No one can stop me now. And of course, the Lord stopped me. So I met Vin, who was a fifth-year senior, who was never supposed to be in my dorm. But he ended up being there because there was no room for him. So he ended up being in a freshman dorm, and we met, and we started talking, and he started telling me about the Bible, about Noah arcs, and all that crazy stuff. And I thought it was crazy at the time. And I told him, just give me the Bible. I'll go home and read it. It's because I grew up in Buddhism. I grew up in ancestor worshippers. I didn't know what to believe. I just thought religions are terrible. They don't get anybody anywhere, but they just wanted your money, and that's all they wanted. And so I became atheist in college. So for Vin to come up to me and give me a Bible, that was okay. Well, I guess it's time for me to find out myself if it's really true, and if it's gonna make any impact in my life. So I took his Bible, went home, I opened it up, and of course I was reading in Revelation when all the beasts and the fire were fighting everything. It sounded scary. I didn't really understand the whole thing, but it sounded scary. So it was scary enough to take me to church. So church was different. I didn't expect it to be just simple. There were just chairs, the pulpit, and pastor dressing normal, not in robes, dressing normal in suits. And and people screaming, shouting, singing. I thought it was supposed to be really quiet, but it wasn't. So I just went along and don't remember what the message was about, but I do remember clearly when the message was over, pastor told everybody to close their eyes and said that, do you know if heaven is your home? And I'm like, no, I don't. I want to know. And so he went on, he said, you could know for sure if heaven is your home before you leave this place today. And one of our people can tell you how. And, you know, I was like internalizing it. Like, is this really true that he's telling me? Like, should I raise my hands or not? He went on, he said it again. And that was that. And I said, there's nothing to lose, so I'm going to find out. So I raised my hand, and that's how I found out. And I found out about this guy, Jesus Christ, who I've seen on movies, who have heard people using his name in vain, who, you know, that just, I don't know, it was just like, wow. But I put two and two together, like, okay, Jesus Christ was God. He was crucified. He was on that cross that I see in movies, dying because of my sins. And that was the only way that he can reconcile me to God, because there was the gap between me and God because of my sin. So now Jesus Christ, who was God, manifests in the flesh to pay for the debt, to be the bridge for me to walk to God freely. And there was no catch. There was no catch to it. They didn't want any money from you. There was absolutely no catch to it. And that's was incredible to me, because I thought all of religion was like, oh, you gotta give money. But there was no money or anything involved. It was just me and God. And so I was so happy that I found the Lord, and I knew exactly where I was going that day. Like, if I, God forbid, die in the parking lot. And that, to me, that worth everything. That was the peace, the security that I've never had, that now I have. And no religions could give me that. Even being atheist, believe in nothing, didn't give me that. Even being an ancestor worshiper didn't give me that. Being a Buddhist, no, didn't give me that. None of that gave me that. So as I grow in the Lord, he just been so gracious and merciful to me that he blessed me so much with a wonderful husband who showed me the Bible, Finn, and two beautiful children that I can never comprehend his love and mercy. And also he saved my sister through a trial, and she is home with the Lord, and one day I'm gonna see her again. And through her death, my mom was saved, and I was so thankful for that, because then now I know that the question that I asked before, now she knows the answer, that I'm gonna be with her again, and that we're gonna be together. And that's, to me, it's incredible, because the Lord heard my cry years and years ago, that, you know, maybe my mom didn't even remember that night, but I cried out, and to, I don't know to who, but I did. And the Lord showed me his mercy, his grace, and he saved me. And that's how faithful he is. He let any man want to hear, and he let me hear. He let me hear the gospel, and he let me know who he is. And I'm truly, truly grateful for it. And, you know, when I think of Romans 5, Romans 5:6, for when we were yet without strength, in due time Christ died for the ungodly. I had no strength, and in due time he did die for me. And in due time I found out what he done for me. And that is incredible. And you know, I'm still praying for my whole family to get saved, and it's not over yet. I'm still here, and I'm still going to tell people about Christ, and I'm still going to tell them how they changed this crazy girl to a Christian mom, to and willingly. I'm willing to do that. It's not a sacrifice to me. It's just my duties. And I'm not missing anything, and I'm content. And it's not like, oh, she's questioned, she's losing so much. I'm not losing anything. I'm perfectly happy and peaceful, to know that the Lord is coming back, and to know that one day I'm going to see him in heaven, and it's truly beyond anything that this world could ever give me. And I hope this video could help you to understand why that you need to know Christ, and there's nothing to lose but a heaven to gain and a Savior that's waiting for you. Thank you.